Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. This is your girl, Londa A, also known as Queen L, the writer on Wattpad. Today is the lovely hump day. Wednesday, March the 1st. The first day of March. It's about to be on and popping. Some good weather is about to come along. You know, some neutral weather. Not too hot, but not too cold. It feels just right. A good day to go outside and barbecue and just enjoy life for exactly what it is. So, today's topic is I would say that today's topic is no matter what. No matter what happens today, how will you, no matter what happens, what will you do? Will you continue to strive and work hard towards your goals? Or will you just crumble and ball up and just give up? So, today's topic, again, is no matter what. No matter what. No matter what happens today, if I was to wake up and my tires are all flat, and I have to be to work in the next hour, what will you do? How will you handle that? No matter what would you do if, say for instance, God forbid, your tax money didn't fall through and you had all these plans. You had all this, this dream to put your money and invest into something that's big, but somehow this year your school decides they want to take your taxes, or some fool decides they want to steal your identity. What will you do? Of course you're going to be upset, because who wouldn't be? How would you handle it? Will you be pissed? Will you give up on the dream that you set out to conquer? Will you give up, or will you shake it off? Take it for what it is and keep pushing forward. No matter how long it may take, no matter how hard you have to work, no matter you having to probably get a second job to now fund your dream, because now you don't have the money to fund your dream like you thought you would have had. What will you do? And I say this because, honestly, in life, we have to build ourselves up every day for strength in times like those. Guys, I'm sorry. I just had a no matter what moment. My tablet decided it wanted to slide on the side of the door. I'm on the expressway, but no matter what, I still got to get this message across. So, what will you do? Like, when you don't have the money, you have to get a second job to fund your dream because your money didn't come through or fall through like you thought it would. This is how you have to live your life. You have to constantly build yourself up, your strength, your mind, your body, your soul for things like this. No matter what situations like this, you have to understand and print in your mind that no matter what happens, I'm going to chase my dream. I'm going to get up today. I'm going to reset today. Reset. I had a moment where I was getting ready to take my sister and her friend. Well, I did take them to an entertainment spot so they can have some fun. Now, the problem here is, this is what I need to do more. I never keep my phone charged. One second, guys. The problem is, I never never keep my phone charged. And on this particular night, my phone went dead, and I had to drive like almost 40 minutes away with 2 teenagers. Now, we made it to the place, but us making it there was the issue. When I got there, the lady was telling me how, this is how much you have to pay for this, that, and the third, or whatever. And I'm like, that's honestly kind of too much. I'm already spending $100. And she's like, well, you can go to Walmart, you can grab this item and that item, it'll be cheaper and less. Walmart is right down the street. Now, one thing about me, which one day I'm just going to do it. One day I'm just going to drive without using my GPS. One thing about me, I always use my GPS for everything. I never pay attention to times. I'm just trusting on my phone and my GPS to guide me there. Now, my phone was getting ready to die in the midst of me trying to go to Walmart. And even though it was probably around the corner, I really, really suck at following directions when it comes to driving and things like that. So I end up going completely in the opposite direction, and I'm lost. At this point, I'm like kind of panicking, but I'm really trying to stay strong and keep focused. Now, we got to the place like almost 8 o'clock. So I'm driving around, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll be like some type of place where I can stop to grab these items at besides going to Walmart. But nothing was in sight but just a whole bunch of restaurants and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a Chevron. Maybe they have these items. So I go to the Chevron, and they don't have them. So I'm talking to people and asking them, like, where could Walmart be? And most of the people are out of town. They're out of towners. They're traveling. And this one guy, he's like telling me directions to get there. But in the midst of him telling me these directions, to me it seemed like a lie. It was a lie. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take that chance because I want to get these kids back to this place so they can have fun. I kept saying to myself, no matter what, I'm going to get these kids some fun. And the younger little boy who was with me, he was kind of panicky, and I noticed it, and I kind of felt bad because I'm like, I have somebody else's child in my care, and I feel like I'm not living up to that responsibility of, being there and making sure that someone else's kid is okay. So I stopped at the Chevron. I'm like, okay, let me buy a charger, because right now, for some reason, I think my fuse is blown in my car charger thing, and it just won't work. So I go to the Chevron. First of all, it seemed like everything was just kind of making me like, it seemed like everything was happening, and it wasn't going right. Everything that happened wasn't going right. First of all, I'm in the Chevron. I'm trying to stand in line to buy a charger. There's only one lady in there. She's an older lady. And the line is just like a wrap. Like, it's people like standing there for like 10 minutes just to pay for an item or just to pump gas or whatever the case may be. And I'm just standing there. I'm like, at this time it's like pushing almost 9 o'clock. And the place at this moment I thought didn't close till 10:30. So I'm like, oh my God, these kids are not gonna have no type of fun. Like, I feel bad. So finally I end up getting the charger, and I go across the street to Zaxby's. I talked to this one guy before I went to Chevron, and he told me that I can come back and charge the phone. So I come back to Zaxby's, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna order these kids some food, and we're gonna just eat because we were going to eat at the place at first. So I'm like, I'm going to order them some food. We're going to sit down and eat. And while we're eating, we're going to charge his phone. I'm going to go to Walmart using the GPS. And then I'm going to head back to the place. That was my initial plan. I charged my phone. I plugged the charger up, and I plugged my phone on it. And it didn't do a thing. Like, it didn't move. I'm like, you know what? Like, is this outlet working? So I talked to the guy, and he's like, okay, yeah, that outlet works, whatever. And he's like, I'm like, well, can you try to put it back there with you guys if you don't mind? Now, one thing that is great and a blessing is to always, one thing I say to people is to always be genuine and sincere to others, like, period. because people will help you and look out for you. And so he took the phone back to the bag and he put it on the charger. So I'm like, can you please just make sure it's charged? And he's like, yes. So we're eating. I'm sitting, I'm waiting just to see if the phone charged. And then I go back. After we're finished, I go to see if the phone is charged. The phone did not charge, guys. So I'm pissed. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. We're not going to Walmart. And I don't know why I didn't think about this at the time, but I was like, you know what? I should have not tried to pay for myself. I'm just going to just focus on the kids and let them do what they do or whatever. This is so crazy. I wonder why I had to go through all of this in order to come to this simple point where I could have just made that adjustment there at the time. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like God was setting me up to be in this situation to show how strong that I could have been and handle everything. Anyway, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to thug it out, and I'm just going to remember how we got back to the place. By the grace of God, and the little boy who was in the car with me, who was paying attention to his surroundings, which is something I love and something I need to do more, he guided us back to the place. So we got back to the place, and I'm like, you know what? Only thing that matters is them having a good time. So I pay for all of that stuff. They go and have a good time. And I'm sitting, I'm like, but my phone is still not charged, and I'm 40 minutes away, and I have to get them home. Throughout this, I didn't show any type of fear. I didn't show the kids that we were not going to be okay. And so a lady had her phone on the charger. By the grace of God, she had an Android charger. So I put my phone on the charger, and it's charging. And so I'm like, okay, everything is good. Then a lady, I guess was her friend, was like, you know, she wanted to use the charger. So at this time, my phone was only on 6%. And I was sitting on the floor inside of the entertainment room. And just, you know, I was having patience. I had patience. That's the one thing I can say. So the one girl who noticed me just sitting there, who worked at the place, she offered me to go and sit in the parenting room. Now, I thought this was just going to be some little boring room where you just sit there. But I was like, you know what? I hope it's a TV in here. And it was. It was a TV in there that had real cable. And I sat there and I watched Lifetime. I had a scarf that nearly almost turned into a bedspread. I wrapped it around myself and I kicked my feet up and I watched some TV. All on my phone is now going to 3%. So as I'm looking at my phone, I'm just trying to read the directions really quick on how to get back home. I look at the directions, and as we're getting ready to leave, it leads me to the expressway. And from there, my phone died. And I say, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to trust God, and I'm going to trust that I can make it home with these kids. And no doubt, I did make it home without no interruptions, no problems at all. Now, I'm just saying this because what you have to, without no GPS sometimes, without no type of, when things happen like that, you know, what will you do? What's next? What do? Do you keep pushing forward or do you crumble? There's many of times where I just wanted to call my son's father and be like, come get me, because I knew he would have came. I was going to tell him to come follow me home. But at that moment, I was like, you know what, Londa, I need to prove something to yourself. Prove that you can do things on your own. Prove that you are strong enough to do what you have to do in times of this. Like, this is what you need. So you use these situations as building tools. Don't look at them as, woe is me. Why did this happen to me? Look at it as building tools. And get past it and get forward. You have to push and thrive. Like, no matter what, in spite of, what will you do next? Because it's not about what happened at that moment. It's how you will come out of the situation. Never claim defeat. You are a conqueror. All right, and I hope you guys loved it, and I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Mwah.